Thank you. So the project I was going to talk about today is one I've been involved with a number of demonstration farms and also some focus sites. And I'm sure you're all aware that lameness is still an issue in the sheep industry, and that's really why we're tackling it in terms of looking for alternative control strategies. So there's some sort of good news, bad news. The good news is that, the bad news is that there's nothing unique that we can actually do. There's nothing new really in terms of new science, new technology at this point. But the good news is that actually we know what we need to do, and it's a question of pulling it all together in a fairly simple format, which means that we can go on and reduce the levels of lameness. So there's actually a national target, which is to reduce levels of lameness to 2% or less. And obviously last year was a particularly bad year, so we've had quite a lot of interest in this work in terms of getting those levels down. So really it's quite a simple programme. It's called the 5-point plan, and it's been developed in combination with vets and farmers, initially working with the FAI in Oxfordshire. And really it's combining the things we know which work in terms of controlling foot rot in particular and putting them all together. And probably one of the things which has really helped as well with this is working with vets. So as part of the demonstration farm network, each farm has a flock health plan done or a herd health plan done, and really having the vets involved with this has been I think the key to the success up to this point. So in terms of things we've been looking at, it's say 5 points: vaccination, that's one of the key elements of it, culling, quarantining, treating, and also avoiding as well. So we're doing our best to reduce the levels of challenge on the farm and then also to prevent any new diseases coming in. And although the programme has been developed around foot rot, it actually seems to work quite well for cod and scald as well. So we know that if we reduce foot rot, we also reduce scald. So it's having some quite big effects. It's been going about 6 months on 2 of the demonstration farms, and we've seen quite a big improvement so far. So in terms of progress we've had to date, what I've done is I've gone out every month and looked at how many sheep in the flock are lame, and also working with the farmers. So they've really done the hard work, which has been the prompt treatment and pulling out of affected animals. So they've been going more or less every week, they've been going into the flock up until tapping, and also then once the rams are out and pulling out lame animals and isolating them, and they don't go back until they're sound. And at that point as well, we've been identifying animals for culling. It's only been a small number. That's probably been the biggest challenge, because obviously, especially after scanning the scan twins, both farms are wanting to try and increase their flock sizes. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges, actually getting those ewes out of the system. But both have already noticed there are repeat offenders, so that's really the next step we'll be taking. Particularly on both farms, it started off in October time when there was quite an outbreak on a lot of farms and levels of lameness were quite high. So there was a significant lameness issue on both farms. And within the first month, that came down to 5%. So that was a very quick, more or less, over-halving of the levels of lameness in the flock. And a lot of that was due to the treatment and the work those farmers did. And at that point, well, before, in October is when the vaccination took place as well. So it's that multi-pronged approach. December went down a little bit, and then we've also seen a further reduction on one farm in January. So the target is 2% or less, so we've already achieved that. But it is a constant sort of question of working on it. So going out there monthly and not letting that go, because I think it's very easy to start up and then actually to let things lapse a little bit. So both farms are working really hard to do that. Obviously, we're looking at the production benefits as well. And on both farms, they've increased their scanning percentages from last year, one farm by 10% and the other by 15%. And also the condition score of the ewes has increased as well. And as Ben said before, it's not just been looking at one thing, although the health and lameness has been a very important part of that. Both farms have done a lot of work condition scoring and looking at their grassland management and feeding and putting feeding plans in place as well. So it's really bringing that all together, and this is really within 6 months they've seen this improvement. So working with both on the nutrition side of things, but also working with their own vets as well has really been, I think, the key to getting this programme working. So we've had good success, but we'll be following it through over the next 2 to 3 years to see what kind of levels we can get through working on this 5-point plan. So when it comes to lameness, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I think we can definitely get those levels down. So it's quite a positive story, really.